Hey everyone, it's been a while, but I have a couple of decks that I would like to share with you. So you've seen probably a few. I'm going to show you those playing cards, which are really cool. They have been created in Spain, very nice set. I did share on my Instagram quite a few images from the Magical Spirit Oracle, The Brilliance of You, but I'm going to show you all the cards just so you get an idea what the deck really looks like. I have received from a friend of mine this deck, which is called Astro Tarot. I'm not sure if it's still available, but it's by Piatnik, and I think it's been created in 2015, so who knows, it's nearly like vintage right now. And then I have received for review, and I'm going to catch up with Rebecca as well for an interview, Manzil Tarot, and this just arrived I think 2 days ago or maybe yesterday, and yeah, it's interesting deck. You couldn't probably see much, but I'm going to show you a couple of cards and I'm going to do a proper review of this later on when I use the deck a little bit. But I just want you to see what it is about, and if you're interested in the subject, then you might also want to get it. Okay, let's just jump straight into it. You guys sit back, relax, and let's look at some beautiful cards. Okay, camera changed. This is a setup from my short and sweet magic treat readings. I just, felt excited to share a little bit different reading for the spooky season. So if you guys never have gotten a reading with me, but you thought about it and maybe, I don't know, it was too expensive or too much, or you wasn't the right timing, maybe now it's the right timing, because short and sweet magic treat they only $49, and you get some intuitive slash was supposed to be 3-card readings, but yeah, I just can't do it, I always use more cards. So this is how the box looks. It's Palan playing cards, and Irene has sent me this huge explanation of, she restored a deck of cards. As you can see, this was the Carta de la Reina de Diamantes. Sorry, I don't speak French, Spanish. Card of the Queen of Diamonds before the restoration. That's how it looks. And the Palan playing cards. And this is a restoration of some surviving cards, as enigmatic and beautiful, of still unknown origin, dating from between 15th, 16th century, so really, quite old. Very high quality natural fiber paper. I love paper that Irene uses. Also, if you like Marseille decks, her Swiss Marseille Tarot has this really beautiful kind of waxy, fun paper. And yeah, it's been fully made by hand and then digitalized for printing. So these are the playing cards. If this is the Tarot de Marseille, same paper. I love this paper. So, they're a little bit smaller. They kind of, I would say, playing card size. But if this is the regular tarot, it would be just something like this. So the Swiss Marseille, it's kind of on the colorful end, happy, beautiful line, beautiful paper. So if you're not a fan of these traditional looking decks, like, just primary colors, you can get one of those. And the Palan playing cards going like this, and they have amazing court cards, amazing faces. I really like it. So yeah, let's just take a look at them. How cool. So, the rest just goes like regular playing cards, but just really beautiful paper. And then the court cards are just so cool. Hello. Don't mind me. Here we go. So awesome. Look at this face. Come on, focus. beautiful. And I really like the simplicity of the cards, that it's not like, you know, overdrawn. That's so cool that she's a chick. Ah, Queens. Come on, yes, please. Very, very nice. So yeah, if you like playing cards, if you look at this mustache, if you use playing cards, you might want to take a look at Irene's deck. I'm kind of excited actually, because after this deck arrived and Irene asked me if she can, you know, send it for a review, I said like, okay, I'm not using playing cards, you know, playing cards much, but okay, like why not? I show it, you know, I show it on the channel. So Napes Artesanos, Spanish product, very, very cool. All right, whoops, I wanted to say let's move on, and then the Marseille deck just goes, show me again. All right, guys, so the Magical Spirit by Alexis Raccoon, published by Rockpool. This also is a review copy. I cooperate with Rockpool. For some reason, me and Rockpool, we go long back. So that's the booklet, and it comes with the little booklet, you know, description of cards. What I liked about this oracle, and I actually, you know, had it for a while now, I like decks that have this kind of build-up. It's easy to find everything. It's the number, it's the kind of like, you know, keywords. It gets like a name. It has a little affirmation, has a little description, longer one if you want. And this one has also manifestation enhancer, which I quite like. Imagine you are the psychedelic mushroom. Just imagine. And it just goes on like this. Has a couple of introductory, you know, messages, typical like oracle book, but well done. And the deck looks really nice. I think Rockpool's decks look really good these days. They're smaller and beautiful box, easy to store, easy to use, not too big. So let's just go through these cards. And you can see that it's some of the cards I really love, and some of them I just wish they were like, you know, kind of bigger. So not in these weird shapes, but more like, yeah, on the whole of the card. But I think it's probably how she did the art before. It's a little bit like Janet Griffith, Jasmine Griffith, you know, the big eyes lady. She also has decks that, like, a lot of cards have one style, and then a couple of them just like pop up and they like from a different totally vibe. So here we go. I'm just going to run through it fairly quickly. I don't want to keep you for too long, but I think this deck is cool. And I like how it's built up, as I said. So here we have the Great Goddess and its Transcendence, Divinity, Shakti. In the book you have to like go deeper into it. I'm in Divine Flow and move in alignment, Yin and Yang, Unity, Balanced Energy, Manifestation. You are worthy of beautiful thing, the Servant Queen, Divine, Magnetic, Valuable, and so on. So it's quite a cool oracle for like daily use, nothing too like, you know, deep, nothing too scary. So I think daily use is okay. It's also quite like momentary, it's quite funny, and I would say a little bit more on the lighter note, but not like totally fluffy, you know, not like for kids only. So I quite like it, and I think it works really well. A good addition to, you know, tarot cards, to tarot readings, if you use decks like this. If not, take a look at my Creative Tarot class, where I share like how you can use many different decks in one reading. There's also another class on this with this title, how to use many decks in one reading. But the Creative Tarot class, it's quite popular, and you can just purchase it and it's, you know, do it in your own time. It's downloadable. So Magical Spirit Oracle by Rockpool, I recommend. And actually, you know, you probably wouldn't see many decks that I don't recommend on my channel, okay? Rockpool also asked us, like, what do you want to review? You know, I don't take all the decks just because Rockpool gives them for free. I take them because I want to show them to you, or I know that they suit my style. All right, so this is, let's do it a little bit lower like that. So this is an interesting one, and it's to the point interesting that I'm going to actually ask Rebecca for an interview. I did ask her already. So this is the first edition. She sent me the first edition and the third edition. And they look the same, and like I'm just showing you how they look. I prefer the first edition, because even though it is, maybe you would say, well, let's find one card that is, well, let's find the star card here. So as you can see or gather, it's a constellational deck, and maybe I didn't get it of the, like, because, you know, of how it looks. I just find it really interesting, and I want to, you know, I'm in the subject of constellational astrology, or learning on fixed stars, constellations, and I recently even read about the fixed stars, that they're not really fixed. Nothing is fixed in cosmos, everything moves. So the fixed stars, it's a little bit misleading. So here we have the third edition, which is kind of clearer. As you can see, there's not so much writing on the cards in the third edition, but you don't get the name of the constellation, which I feel, you know, I'm learning about the constellations. I don't recognize them yet, all of them, you know, and you get the name of the constellation again. So here you get also name of the most important stars, and there are these mentions, like Manzil means mention, like lunar mention. So I prefer the first edition, where I get, you know, a lot of the names, even though it's messier, because you get name of the tarot, you get name of the constellation, you get the manzils, you get the stars, and so on. But how it works, that on major arcana you get a lot of different constellations, and then for the minors, what she did, she went via elements. So what Rebecca did, she said she created Manzil Tarot using Kabbalah constellation. Constellations listed in the book The Fixed Stars and Constellations in Astrology by Vivian Robson. And she also referenced the star names and their meanings by Richard Hinckley Allen for Manzil stars or lunar mention. So Manzil is Arabic for mention. And we have all these elements, like, you know, like she used like playing cards or kind of Tarot de Marseille pips. So we have swords and the element of air. We have wands and element of fire, and we have hearts, element of water, and diamonds, element of earth, and pentacles. And she used ancient equinoxes and solstices. So at some point, if you listen to some of my True Sidereal Astrology videos, like Taurus was the first sign. So ancient equinox, whatever was rising on the horizon on ancient equinox, spring equinox, it was actually Taurus, not Aries. And here we have with Taurus, Aldebaran, part of Taurian constellation, ancient spring equinox. Then we have ancient autumnal equinox with Scorpio, Antares, and then we have Regulus Leo for ancient summer solstice, and we have Fomalhaut for ancient winter solstice and element of air. So that's just like a message from Rebecca. She also sent this little additional set of paper which shows the association of Kabbalah constellations with tarot cards. So magician would be Orion and Taurus, High Priestess Cassiopeia, Empress Virgo, Emperor Lyra, Hercules, and Corona Borealis, because she says that like Hercules is like emperor, but emperor needs a crown and it needs like a musical instrument or something, you know, to be entertained. Hierophant is Aries. So, you know, different associations that you use to, I mean, we only have associations to zodiac constellations, right? But not to all the other constellations. So Tower is serpents of Yuki, so of Ophiuchus and Scorpio, which I love because I love Tower and I love Ophiuchus, and so on and so forth. Love also Judgment, and I love that Cygnus card. It's great. Anyway, so this is really interesting. I wanted to get Rebecca for the interview just to ask her, you know, like, why did she do this deck, and the interest, like whatever is interesting for her, and so on. So I'm not going to go through all of them, but you get a sense of how the deck looks. There is no like images, no pictures. It's just a picture of the constellation that she drew, and here we have Strength and Strength. You get the name in the first edition of the constellation Leo, which I like, and here you get some sigils as well, and name of the stars, which I also like. So for me, the first edition is really helpful, and I'm glad she has sent me the one that has the names of the stars written on them. But the third edition, if you were, you know, really good with constellations and you don't need, it's just less messy how it looks, clearer, but you don't get, you know, all the stars information, or you don't get the name that this is Aries constellation and so on. So that's the difference between the two decks. And then the last deck that I wanted to show is this Astro Tarot, which is, again, like, I don't have a book for it. I don't know if there is a book for it. I think there was one in German, which I wouldn't mind because I read German. But what's interesting here is that I'm still figuring out this deck, but I really enjoy the artwork. And what I think they did, they took the energy of the planets and signs. So for example, Pluto in Scorpio or Pluto in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces and Neptune in Scorpio and mix the energy. So, you know, Neptune in Pisces would be very kind of siren-like. Pluto in Pisces would be very siren-like as well. It's idealistic. There is Scorpio as well. There is this like magnetic pull that sirens had. So all these planetary energies and signs, they are kind of captured in an image, which I think it's really cool. So like Saturn in Capricorn, Moon in Capricorn, Moon in Cancer for the mother, and Moon in Capricorn. They all have a little bit of this type of energy, you know, when sometimes you have the tough upbringing with the Capricornian energy. It can be touch cold, and then you have the kind of like majors, but they have the zodiac signs and the planet association. And this is just interesting, you know, Moon in Cancer for like the mothering, but Moon in Scorpio when she's a little bit like Lilith, you know, and a Pluto in Scorpio. So you get this kind of weirdness, or Pluto in Cancer. That's what I think they did, but I'm not 100% sure. So here we have Mercury in Scorpio or Mercury in Gemini, and you can see the mercurial energy here, and the shoes and the hat. So there's Mercury, and there's Pluto in Scorpio, you know, this kind of temptation. And Pluto in Gemini, when you maybe can have like really deep conversations. There is a lot of deep issues, you know. So, and so on and so forth. I really enjoy it. So my friend Antonio, thanks Antonio, has sent it to me. He said he just not using it. And I think I'm going to use it. I just have to really figure out, like here we have Neptune in Pisces, very dreamy, very idealistic. Neptune in Taurus, if it came, it's also like, you know, the body, the nature. Venus in Pisces, also in the relationships, very idealistic. You know, it wants to have the romance. It's very sensitive. And Venus in Taurus, very body-oriented, values, you know, likes good things. Do you think that's what it is? Maybe somebody has this deck and wants to share. Oh, I love this. Oh, so good. You know, Aries, like Mars in Aries. We have that, you know, sword. We have Venus in Taurus, body. We have Mars in Taurus, you know, Mars is sensual in Taurus, likes to touch, and Venus in Aries, it's a bit feisty as well. So yeah, it's just interesting combinations, interesting to look at. What's this? Venus in Libra and Venus in Gemini. That's a bit crazy. Why is that? Anyway, so you know, all these different energies, different cards, different images that mix planets and signs, and I actually really enjoy it. So I would love to have like a group where we could, you know, discuss these cards. So people who like tarot and astrology, or even just astrology, if you want me to organize a group, we could meet on Zoom or live on Facebook or whatever. We could chat about a couple of cards every meeting. That would be awesome. I think I would like that. So let me know if you want me to do like a proper review of this deck when I figure out what's going on. But it's a very interesting one. So this is the Astro Tarot, but it's by Hermine Maria Zeil and Rita Mühlbauer. So okay, that's it, guys. Again, my short and sweet readings, the spooky season readings, are available only to the end of November, I think. So if you want to get it, just hook me up. You know, you can purchase through my website, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.